Welcome back. It's been a bit since we've seen you. We're going to try to work around our cables today. Tammy and I have got a treat to share with you before we get started. We've got black bean brownies, so we're going to pass those out. And then Tammy made a dip too for you guys. They're all healthy.
Did you bring the recipe?
You have to see. Oh.
I did not.
Oh, my recipe.
If you're a fan,
15 carbs.
if you're a fan, I will definitely bring it next time. But these have, and I've got a slide with the.
The carrot cake.
Should we be getting that big one?
Kind of like a dump cake.
Look how gooey they are, though.
Well, ouch.
Well, this is 15 grams of carbs, but it's got protein in it. But anyway, protein in it, fiber in it, snack size gram of carbs, so 15 grams of carbs. Tammy's going to tell you about her dip.
Oh, yes. I don't know. Nobody even needs a recipe. It is cottage cheese, a pack of taco seasoning, and some Rotel.
Really?
And you put it in the blender. And it's really good. And it takes less than a minute to make.
Thank you.
Blend it up.
How much
These are really good.
Thank you.
A can.
Oh, thank
A can and
I need that.
almost a can. And then I didn't get the spicy stuff. Of course, you can get different
These
stuff.
answers now.
And then,
Don't eat yours.
Yeah, right.
It's good.
Pretty purple.
Well, all my boys went to CBC, so I have leftover CBC napkins.
you want to try it?
Sure.
Those are just some plain old chips.
Maybe we could make some fun and do this.
Good. See, surprising, huh?
Very good.
These are better than regular brownies.
There you go. And I mean, not that there's something that you could have every day, but they
Kind of
at
dip like
least
that. You're welcome.
are not as bad as having a regular bread. 15 grams of carbs, so it's a snack size of carbs.
Yeah, taco seasoning.
And then this dip that Tammy made is super quick, and it also has protein in it.
Are you passing the recipe around?
So I'll bring it next time. For some reason, I just didn't think to bring it this time.
Well, I think we should
But
do chips.
basically, a can of black beans,
They're a little bit.
3
yeah.
eggs, no flour at all, a little bit of sugar, so there is that.
Does it have a little spice to it?
You know, baking powder, cocoa, and then a little bit of instant espresso.
Yeah, you could
So-
just,
and
yeah,
just
so you can get
Blend
different,
those
you know.
beans. Really wash the beans too. Wash them and then blend them really smooth.
That's pretty darn good.
Wow.
I know. I got a whole bowl of this stuff.
My granddaughter's putting dinner for me tonight. Oh, I'm gonna have today.
See, you're gonna have all that fiber from your brownie. You're gonna be full.
Boy, this needs a scoop of ice cream.
Brownies have a lot of fiber in them.
These do because they're made of beans, so beans have a lot of fiber.
I think
Yeah, so
Ron-
beans, there's a lot of, the brownie has a lot of fiber.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Haagen-Dazs.
I'm gonna separate you two. We don't need to have ice cream with our black bean brownie.
We don't have what with our?
Ice cream, these two want ice cream.
Oh, boy.
Where'd you get your chips? Did you get those at Trader Joe's?
I got them at Walmart.
Oh,
What are they? They are red quinoa and tortilla chips. So they have a little bit of quinoa, brown flax seeds, and chia seeds in them, which I thought would give them a little bit of fiber. Maybe they have a little bit more than regular tortilla, but like 1 gram of fiber for 8 chips is a serving size. I saw, yeah.
About how many of those chips can you have?
I think 8 is a serving size, so 15 grams of carbs. And a little bit of fiber, a little bit of protein because the flaxseed and chia seeds are in there. And then the dip, of course, has good protein in it.
So the moral of the story is, I mean, these chips taste like a lot of what you would normally buy, but they're healthier for you. The brownies, we're not gonna have brownies every day, but when we have brownies, we can make a healthier version. So there's a lot of different recipe conversions that you can do to tweak a little bit here, tweak a little bit there, and just make the recipe a little bit healthier. So when you do have that treat, it's just a little bit, just a little bit more healthy. All right, so we'll see each other again September 11th. Look at that, we've only got 4 more classes before we'll have our core 6-month done. So the next time we'll meet will be September 11th. And then, so a little story on this. I always put this up here because, again, that's all we're asking, just a little bit of for compounds every day. And I have to tell you about a guy I was working with last night. So he always has an excuse, never wants to try. He just, when you first talk to him on the surface, it's like, yeah, I don't like to do that, I don't like to do this. He's got kids, he's got a wife, he's got all of these whys, so he should invest. He's already got diabetes. He has a huge family history of diabetes. His A1C is very high. So he has a lot of reasons to care and to invest in his health, but he just never really does. Just, I kind of get shrugged shoulders from him a lot and stuff. But then when you kind of dig deeper, and he said, well, I have been not going out to eat as much. And I have been, on my breakfast, I made a little substitution here. And yeah, I have, on my evening snacks, I have changed a little bit. And we looked at his A1C, and his A1C had dropped a full point. Now, on the surface, it didn't seem like he was doing anything, but when we really looked at it, he was making just a lot of little tweaks that he didn't even realize that if you would ask him, he'd say, well, I'm not doing anything different because I really don't care. But he was making a lot of little changes, and it added up, and his A1C is going down. Okay, so before we get started into support, the theme of the day was protein, because we had some brownies with protein in them. So proteins, lot of different proteins. There are a lot of plant-based proteins too. I mean, obviously we think of meat and cheese, but there are a lot of plant-based proteins. I don't know if, some of these are common, the chia seeds, the lupin, the beans, the chickpeas, the lentils, the soy, that spirulina, that's algae, the hemp seeds. So there's a lot of different sources of protein out there. But how do you know what you're eating is a good source of protein? Because with all the big push to get more protein, we need to know, well, yeah, but with adding all this protein, is it a good source of protein, or am I just taking on a lot of extra calories to get that protein? So there's a calculation you can do to make sure that your protein is lean and healthy. So it's called the 10-1 ratio. So for every 10 calories, you should at least get 1 gram of protein. So to make the math super easy on that, you can look at like our package and say, okay, in this package, there are X number of grams of protein. You can add a 0 to that, and I've got an example, it's gonna make it look easier. Then you add a 0 to your protein, and then you compare the protein with the added 0 to the calories. And if they're equal or less than, it's a good source. If it's greater than, it's a bad source. So let me just show you an example. So if we had a food item that was 200 calories, and we had protein and it was 20 grams of protein. If we add a 0 to that, that makes our protein 200. So 200 equal 200, so that's a good source of protein. All right, but let's look at our brownies. So our brownies have 117 calories. They have 3 grams of protein. So if we have 30, if we say, okay, that's 30, well, 30 is a lot less than 17, so we know that brownies are not a good source of protein, not even black beet brownies. But they're a treat with protein. So it's not like we're going to use the brownie to get our protein. But if we're gonna have a brownie, it's nice to get a little bump of protein and fiber in it. So not a good source of protein for our daily, but it's always nice to get a little extra protein in there. All right, so today we're gonna, oh, sorry. Today we're gonna talk about support. So it's not easy to make changes to your lifestyle, but the good news is you don't have to do it alone. Like, look at everybody here today that supports one another. I hear you guys talking about different things that you're going to and different options. So again, it's always good to have support on whatever journey that you're taking on. So who are some people in our lives that we can count on for support? Family, friends, doctors, right? I mean, you should be able to count on your doctor for support. Absolutely. So family, friends, neighbors, online groups, health professionals, and even pets. Pets listen. Are you guys allowed to have pets here if you wanted a pet?
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
Do a lot of people have them?
There are 8 in the independent living community.
Dogs?
Dogs, yes.
Oh, that's right.
1 cat.
One cat. So supportive activities that you can do together, you can agree to do activity, things, you know, people that agree to do activities with you. Our support people can hold us accountable, get us out to work out, have us, you know, eat healthy meals, buy and cook healthy foods together, eat healthy items and share them with you, encourage you to stick to a healthy lifestyle, even when you want to quit, because again, we all think at times, what's the point? I mean, even Tammy and I do. Praise you for being active, challenge you to be active, offer to help you make time to be active, maybe, you know, do those little extra things to give you time, and praise the healthy items and choices that you choose to do and notice your progress. How can people unknowingly create obstacles for your healthy lifestyle? Negativity. Why do you care about that? Why do you worry about what you're eating? It doesn't matter. You're too thin. You're too thin.
Yeah.
You're too thin. Why do you care about that?
We have a lot of people who bake around here.
Yeah.
We put it on our doors.
Yeah. And which the thought is nice, it's a nice thought, but it also puts that extra little challenge to say, you know, that's just not something that I would, you know, choose to eat. So again, we all want to be nice, but it's one of those things that, you know, just puts that extra little challenge in front of us. Unhealthful actions. Buy and cook unhealthy items that have around you. Complain about the healthy items that you buy and cook. Invite you to do things that involve mainly just sitting and lying around. Make it hard for you to find time to be active. Decline to do active things with you. I don't want to go for a walk. Let's sit here and watch TV. Tell you that you're being silly, you're fine the way you are. Make it hard to say no. Well, I made this especially for you. I don't know why you don't want to eat it.
Yeah.
Make unhelpful comments about what you're eating. So there's some conversation starters. A lot of times people just need to know why they maybe don't understand why you're making the choices that you are. So again, they're just conversation starters. You know, you might start with, you know, I just don't feel great. This is why I want to do this for my body. I want to feel more confident about myself. I don't feel in control of what I'm eating, and I want to be a good example for my family. That's what a lot of times, you know, whether we grew up with examples to follow or not, we can set examples and be good examples for other people too. So again, a lot of times it's just be that shining star for somebody else. Set the pace for somebody else. And again, we don't all have family and friends that are supportive, so you can reach out to online groups. There's a lot of different, you know, groups online, groups within the city, maybe even groups, you know, within the complex here that you can connect with people to make more healthy choices, like this group here. classes and clubs to support healthy eating habits. So there's healthy cooking classes, healthy meal planning, there's healthy activities. You guys do the balance. Are there any dance classes?
Yes,
Good.
well, we're gonna have one.
What kind of dance?
Line dancing.
Nice. Oh my gosh, that's
And
awesome.
occasionally we have square dancing.
Square dancing's always fun, because if you don't know what to do, they tell you what to do.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
always,
right.
it's always a lot of laughs.
Seat basketball.
Don't see that.
Oh, really? That's fun.
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
Volleyball. And basketball.
And they have water volleyball.
Yeah, we heard about the water volleyball, that's amazing. And then there's walking and hiking groups. And then stress management too is another thing that, just helps us feel more healthy. Arts and crafts and community services and volunteering and things like that help with stress management. So these are just some of the local, there's kitchen socials, there's cooking schools, there's adult rec, there's dancing. I'm so happy you guys are doing a dance class, that'll be a lot of fun. Gateway Milers, they're a hiking group. There's just a lot of different, if you choose to, there's a lot of different groups you could join to be more active. So online videos, there's a lot of different people out there that want to TikTok, Instagram, you name it, YouTube, that want to offer healthy opinions, which are great. And there's a lot of great ideas out there. And that's the reason why Tammy and I try to show you guys a lot of different voices and opinions, because there isn't one grand book or one grand person that knows it all. It's just a good idea to get a lot of different perspectives. But if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Tammy and I have encountered several patients recently that want to believe that pink salt is going to be the cure-all.
Oh, I just saw something
Yeah.
on that Himalayan salt.
Himalayan pink salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the natural Ozempic, it's gonna cause you to lose a lot of weight. So again, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Double check these fantastic claims, if it smells wrong, double check it and know your sources.
I think salt is salt is salt to your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of us probably need any more than we get feed food.
So this is Bobby, and he's got a ton of different videos out there. I think he's pretty legit. He really is good about dissecting labels. So I thought we would watch this one. I know you guys eat in the dining hall, but I know you also buy some other foods too. And this is also, will just kind of give you some perspectives on what they're serving too. But he kind of dives into the labels, so I think he's kind of good to watch. So let's watch him.
Live City fam, what is up? It is Bobby on the north side of Chicago, about to go in the grocery store for the ultimate guide to shopping when you have diabetes and you're on a diabetic diet. We're gonna cover every inch of the grocery store, from fresh produce, meat, the middle aisles, dairy, all the good stuff. So I show you the best quality items and products to put in your body when you're on a low sugar, low carb, diabetic diet. You don't have to sacrifice quality. You don't have to sacrifice flavor anymore, because there's some next level products upstairs that I'm gonna show you what to buy, what to avoid, and why in detail. Before we get rocking and rolling, you know the drill. Like, subscribe, share. All those things are lovely, but right below the video is a bell. You're gonna wanna enable all notifications on my channel, because every single week we have like 6 videos going live, 3 videos, 3 live cooking streams where we make a recipe from start to finish. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's mask up, let's go shopping and do our thing. Let's navigate our way through the produce section and find the best veggies and fruits for a diabetic diet. I love this fruit and veggie section here at Whole Foods. It's just so colorful, really makes me happy. What makes me happy also is avocados. Avocados are a very fiber-rich food. They also have a lot of yummy fat, really, really good fat for you. And what do we talk about? Foods that are high in fiber are prebiotics. They're very good for the tummy bacteria. Avocados are fantastic for a diabetic and a keto diet. It's actually one of the most fiber-rich foods here in the produce section. But probably the most fiber-rich food in the produce section is right here. It's the artichoke. The artichoke just looks like it has a lot of fiber. It looks like something that's going to be a colon cleanser. It goes through your system, just getting all the stuff out of there and pushing it through. The thing is, It's very hard to prepare this, and it's kind of a pain in the butt because all these leaves on the outside are inedible. So you have to shave it down to get to the heart and then steam it or boil it. The thing is, if we go to the middle aisle section, I bet we can find a much easier, more consumer-friendly version of the artichoke. Let's go over there really quick. There we go. This is what I was talking about. These are artichoke hearts, usually baby artichoke hearts, in water or in oil. All of that hard work has been done for you, so it's much easier to consume. And these are just artichokes with water, sea salt, and a little bit of citric acid as the preservative. That's totally fine. But look at this. We're talking about 3 grams of fiber for a 1 serving size is 1 jar. Very, very nice. The thing is, careful when they're marinated and put in oil. If the oil's not olive oil or extra virgin olive oil, run, Forrest, run. Why? Because this one here, let's see, is packed in sunflower oil. Sunflower oil, like we talked about, is inflammatory, highly processed plant-based oil. Plant-based oils that are processed spike your cholesterol. People with diabetes oftentimes have high cholesterol. So if you can't find it with extra virgin olive oil, just go for the ones packed in water. You're good to go. You can check the fiber on this one. This one has 4 grams of fiber for 3 pieces. Yeah, that seems higher. For some reason, this one seemed low. Very, very fiber-rich food. We're officially going to call artichokes the colon below of the fruit and vegetable section. This stuff is dynamite. Green, leafy vegetable.
Does anybody like artichoke hearts? Good. And he makes a very good point there with the oil, because again, when you go to the artichoke heart section, there's so many different options. But always look what they're packed in, because they're great with fiber, but a lot of them are packed in oil that we just, don't want to go there.
They're generally low in carbs and they're very high in fiber. One of my favorites is kale. Well, they don't have it today. I usually stay away from the green curly kale because it's a little too fibrous and rubbery. The lacinato kale is a little bit better, but you always want to get organic kale. That's on the Dirty Dozen. Spinach is always on the Dirty Dozen, but you want to get organic, but it's very high in fiber. All lettuces, to be honest. When you get romaine, red leaf lettuce, what's that over there? A little bit of escarole. Always get those organic because they tend to be high in pesticides and chemicals. One vegetable that's very high in fiber and low carb is broccoli, but you don't have to get organic broccoli. Broccoli has a natural compound in it that prevents bugs and insects from attacking it, so they spray it less. You can actually get conventional broccoli. You can get conventional cabbage. You don't have to splurge for organic, and that's loaded with fiber, another gut-friendly food. Cauliflower, just like broccoli, has that natural compound in there. You don't have to get organic. Fantastic for making a rice substitute. You just want to stay away from the starchy vegetables like your butternut squashes, like the potatoes over there, sweet potatoes, all that stuff, all the yams, asparagus. Asparagus is fantastic, and you don't have to get organic asparagus either, because you usually shave away the bottoms of the stalks here, and that's where any of the chemicals would live. So no need to splurge for that. Don't have to get organic Brussels sprouts, which are high in fiber too. They have that natural compound just like the cabbage does. So there's really a lot of options here. And once you know what to get organic and not to get organic, which is very important, because the Dirty Dozen ones are very, very dirty, you're home free. Would you ever think that chocolate can be part of a diabetic's diet? And the answer is yes, because dark chocolate is actually high in fiber, antioxidants, and a bunch of other good nutrients. But not all dark chocolate is created equally. So look at this. This is organic dark chocolate. It says 57% cocoa. The thing is, I believe that to be legally called dark chocolate, it has to have a minimum of 55% cocoa. So this is barely there. So the only issue with this is we look at what's going on here, and per serving, there's still 14 grams of added sugar. Now listen, when you're on a diabetic diet, 14 grams of added sugar is too much. So even though it's technically dark chocolate, I would go for a higher cocoa percentage. We come down here, there we go, 68. That's a little bit better. And it has almonds, which are high in fiber too. Look what happens. The sugar goes down a little bit. Not as much as I'd want to see, because still 68% is good, but I think we can do better. What kind of better? Here we go. Look at this. 85% exquisitely rich dark chocolate. Look what happens to the sugar. Boom goes the dynamite. Down to 4 grams of added sugar and 4 grams of fiber, which is fantastic for a 3-serving bar. That is really, really good stuff. Now, If you want to avoid sugar altogether, we live in a new century that has some really, really exciting stuff, such as this. This is keto nut butter chocolate bars. This is crazy because, number one, it's tasty. I have this at home right now. Number two, it's open already, so don't buy this one exactly, but look what's going on here. We have 5 grams of fiber and 0 grams of added sugar. How do you do that? Well, look at these next level ingredients. First of all, everything's organic. They're adding a little bit of Jerusalem artichoke fiber there, which is great because it jacks up the fiber, and they're sweetening it with monk fruit extract. This stuff is literally delicious and maybe one of the most healthy, nutrient-dense keto chocolates on the market. So that's great. Once again, not that one. If you want something a little different here, go for Lily's sugar-free dark chocolate. So check this out. This is extra dark, sweetened with stevia. So we look at the ingredients. See that?
Okay, did anybody notice the difference in the chocolate chips and the brownies? Did you notice that they weren't actual chocolate chips?
No, you knew something was in there.
So they're the Lily's brand, and they're the actual stevia chocolate chips. So they didn't pack as much punch as like a regular semi-sweet chocolate chip or anything like that. So they were this Lily's brand that he's going over right now, they were the Lily's brand chocolate chips.
Inulin is a fiber supplement, so that's going to jack up the fiber. And I don't mind the soy lecithin. That's the emulsifier. It's non-GMO soy. It says it here somewhere. There we go. Non-GMO soy, very common in certain chocolates. But 0 grams of sugar, 10 grams of fiber. That's amazing. So you have some options if you want to avoid sugar completely.
And again, why do we think so much about fiber? What is it about fiber that we really focus on?
It's good for digestion.
Good for digestion, makes us feel full,
Yeah.
and then it also helps feed our good gut bacteria that we want to keep healthy.
Go for the highest percentage cocoa you can get. And remember, not all chocolate is the same. Look for the highest percentage of chocolate around, but man, oh man, there's some really exciting stuff in the chocolate world. Just because you're diabetic, you don't have to cut it out. If you're going to eat pasta on a diabetic diet, you really want to avoid the traditional enriched wheat pastas. Those are made with white wheat flour that spike the crud out of your blood sugar and offer no nutrition. You're going to want to live in the alternative pasta section, usually made of brown rice and legumes and stuff like that. You're going to want to go with the most nutrient-dense, high-fiber pasta on the market, and that's made from red lentils. Red lentils or chickpeas are just fantastic because you look at the macros. Look at that, you guys. Protein off the charts, but fiber, a 9-gram serving of fiber in a 3-ounce portion is fantastic. And I believe the chickpea pasta should be the same. Yeah, 3 ounces, 9 grams. So why is that important? Well, when you're going to have carbs, number one, you do have to limit them, but number two, you want to have ones that are made with whole grains like these because they're not going to spike your blood sugars nearly as much as the other pasta. That being said, let's say you want pasta, a really indulgent dish, and you don't want to spike your blood sugar at all. Well, you still don't want to eat these made from legumes. There is one pasta that's almost 0 carbs, has a ton of fiber, and it lives in the refrigerated section. Let's go check it out. It's one of my favorite. All right, here it is. I know they always have it at Whole Foods and usually in Walmart supercenters. It's either in the produce section or right here in the vegan section, and this is it. It's called Pasta Zero. Now, there's a lot of shirataki noodles on the market, but I find that Nasoya Pasta Zero is the best. So what makes it so good? Well, number one, there's spaghetti shapes or fettuccine. But look at these macros, okay? There's 2 servings in a bag. To be honest, it's more like 1 serving, but there's 2 grams of net carbs times 2 servings. There's only 4 grams of net carbs and a whopping 6 grams of fiber in this whole bag. What's so cool, the ingredients are also clean as a whistle here. It's made with konjac flour. And something like this is also known as a prebiotic. Foods that are high in fiber are prebiotics, and they feed your gut bacteria. So in addition to not spiking your blood sugar, it fosters good bacteria in your gut, and I'm all about that. I really believe the backbone to healthy living is a good gut bacteria and flora. I use this a lot in my still #1 best-selling keto meal prepping cookbook. If you're looking for diabetic-friendly recipes and keto recipes, I'll put that link down below. You guys, still after 15 months now to #1 bestseller on Amazon, all because of y'all. And we have a bunch of really cool recipes using this and spaghetti squash that are great for diabetes and diabetes.
You give us that.
Has anybody tried the Pasta Zero?
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'm gonna try to look for it. Yeah. Has anybody tried, played with the lentil pastas or the chickpea pastas or anything like that? Now those I have tried and I think they have a pretty good taste. I mean, they're okay. There's also, as I've shared with you in the past, I'm a vegetarian, so I try not to eat any meat. Occasionally I will have a little bit of tuna, but there's a chickpea no tuna salad that tastes like tuna. It's amazing. Highly recommend, highly recommend.
What is the flour they're talking about? And it says konjac flour, what is that?
I don't know. Do you know what konjac is? I don't know that. We'll look that up.
We have entered the breakfast aisle, and they always say that you should eat whole grains that are really rich in fiber when you're on a diabetic diet. Why is that? Because the fiber actually moves through your system very slowly, and it prevents your blood sugars from spiking. The thing is, something like oatmeal still has a lot of carbs, so I would really limit the amount of oatmeal in your diet. If you're going to eat oatmeal, there's a couple of guidelines I like to follow. Number one, don't go for any flavored kinds, because anytime you see something like maple pecan or any flavor, that always means there's added sugar. And when you see 8 grams of added sugar, that's 2 teaspoons of added cane sugar. That is not good for you at all. So always go for plain. And then that brings me to point number 2. Always look for, if you can, steel cut oats, because a lot of people don't realize steel cut oats compared to rolled oats have a little more fiber. So this is the serving size for 1 serving of rolled oats has 3 grams of fiber, and 1 serving of steel cut should be higher. Let's see here. Yeah, that's 4 grams. So you're probably going to want to get the quick cooking steel cut oats, and please always get organic oats, whether you do the rolled oats or the steel cut. See, these aren't organic. What's the problem with that? Well, oats actually score high in glyphosate. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Roundup. Why the heck would Roundup be sprayed on oats? Well, they're sprayed on oats because they're used as a desiccant, a drying agent to dry out the oats at the end of the growing process to make it easier and quicker to harvest. Because of that, the glyphosate levels score high. You don't want that junk in your body. So go organic. But if you're going to eat oats, I would supplement part of your oats with a low carb, high fiber item like one of these. Chia seeds, the miracle plant that grows, or flax seeds. These are amazing because, in addition to being low carb, they're loaded with fiber. Look at that. 6 grams of fiber, 2 grams of net carbs, and a ton of protein. So I would actually do maybe like half and half oatmeal and that, or skip the oatmeal altogether. Get chia seeds, which have basically the same nutritional profile of the flax seeds. Make chia seed pudding. I have recipes for dairy-free chia seed pudding, once again, in my keto meal prepping cookbook and on my blog. I'll put links down below. You can do a sugar-free keto chocolate chia seed pudding. You can do a low-glycemic blueberry chia seed pudding. The point is, you're going to want to limit the whole grains, but supplement them with chia seeds and flax seeds, and don't add any sugar or any kind of inflammatory items to the oatmeal, and you're good to go. This is actually my favorite section of the grocery store, the cooking oils and fats aisle, because there's so many great fats and oils that didn't used to be at the grocery store in the 80s and 90s. And some of the best ones, I think, to cook with on a diabetic diet are grass-fed ghee, all of these amazing pasture-raised and grass-fed animal fats like duck fat, beef tallow, pasture-raised pork fat. Virgin coconut oil is fantastic, and avocado oil is another good one, and then down here, olive oil. Olive oil is great, and a lot of people ask me one of the best ones to cook with and finish with at the grocery store, and it's actually this. It's a USA, California-based company called California Olive Ranch. I've seen cheaper prices here and there, but this is actually a cooking EVOO and a finishing extra virgin olive oil. I actually cook with extra virgin olive oil, not like a top shelf bottle that costs a lot of money, something like this. Or if you're a Costco member, get the big organic Kirkland extra virgin olive oil and cook with that and finish it if you want. Or just get a really good bottle of finishing oil, like one of these like super small ones here. Something like this. This would be something you wouldn't want to cook with because it's very expensive. You want to finish with that. So why are those good? Why is he talking about fats? We're not talking about cholesterol, we're talking about diabetes here. That's because if you cook with oils like canola oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, safflower oil, stuff like these are actually very inflammatory. Why does that matter? Because inflammatory foods actually cause cholesterol. Cholesterol spikes. People with diabetes oftentimes have high cholesterol. So when you're eating and using oils that have refined oils that are highly processed and highly inflammatory, you're going to spike your cholesterol. Why is something like canola oil inflammatory? That's because it's processed at such high heat, and usually GMO, if it's not organic, it's inflammatory. You don't want that stuff in your body, and conventional canola oil uses hexane, a chemical, to extract the oil from the plant, making it inflammatory, making it raise your cholesterol, making it bad for diabetics. So stick with the healthier oils, the avocado oil, the coconut oil, ghee. Coconut oil is a good saturated fat. Don't believe the hype that it's bad for you and it makes your cholesterol go up. It actually makes it go down. It's a very, very special oil. Bottom line, have low inflammatory oils. Avoid the processed plant-based oils. Get the ones I just recommended. I've talked about the benefits of 100% grass-fed beef many, many times. Grass-fed beef is not only better for the cow, the farmer, the environment, and for you, because the nutritional profile is better, it's also beneficial to a diabetic diet, because when you see something that says 100% grass-fed, or grass-fed and grass-finished, it has to say one of those two things, otherwise it could be finished on grain. If it only says grass-fed, it has more conjugated linoleic acids. Those are actually a very beneficial compound that's good for people with diabetes. So when you're at the grocery store, just look for it. I always get a higher fat percentage. This is 85% beef to 15% fat, and it's a little cheaper than the lean, what is this, 95.7. You're probably going to overcook that, and like I said, the fat in here is healthy. It's actually good for you because it's pasture-raised, never eaten grain. Why is that better than something that's grain-fed? Because when you have traditional ground beef that's grain-fed, they're eating GMO soy and corn. Those are inflammatory feed, and because of that, the nutritional profile of grain-fed cattle is lower than grass-fed. It's available everywhere right now. You can get it even for way better prices than this. For many reasons, including diabetes purposes, go for grass-fed ground beef. It doesn't have to be organic necessarily. It just has to say 100% grass-fed or grass-fed and grass-finished. Way better than corn-fed, grain-fed, GMO beef. Yogurt is something that's very, very tricky because there's hidden sugars lurking in 99% of the yogurts on the market. So obviously you want to get plain, unsweetened. But that also applies to simple things like vanilla. When you see something like vanilla at the grocery store, doesn't mean it doesn't have sugar. Look at this. This is organic, which is great for yogurt. Vanilla. You guys, that's 16 grams of sugar for a 3/4 cup serving. 16 grams of sugar is 4 teaspoons. 4 teaspoons of cane sugar in one serving. So you have to go plain. Organic is good, but you could actually do better. So what does that mean? Well, here's Greek style plain. That's actually even better, because what happens when something is Greek style? It's strained. What happens when you strain yogurt? Well, number one, you intensify the protein, but number two, you remove the lactose. What lives in the lactose? The sugar. So Greek yogurt is inherently lower in sugar, but this is not, it is organic, but we can do better. How can we do better? That sounds too good to be true. It's down here. This is by far what I think the best yogurt on the market. It's not only organic, it's not only Greek style, it's 100% grass-fed. Grass-fed dairy has the highest nutritional profile of any other dairy on the market because they're eating grass. Higher CLAs, higher omega-3 fatty acids, and it's whole milk yogurt. Whole milk yogurt is gonna have lower sugar. So, because it's strained and Greek style, let's look at this. The total sugar here is 5 grams per 3/4 cup. That's 5 grams of natural sugar. If it were unstrained, it'd have maybe 7 or 8. So lower sugar, plus all those beneficial fatty acids and the saturated fat, and Greek. You can't always get this at every grocery store. If you can't get it, just get organic, Greek-style whole milk yogurt. But I would, honestly, take a trip to somewhere like a Whole Foods that has this, because it's worth it. Now, what if you're dairy-free like me, and you want your low-carb, sugar-free fix? These guys got you covered. Kite Hill makes a Greek-style almond-based yogurt that is so good and good for you. So look at this. First of all, fiber's off the charts. 5 grams of fiber per serving and 3 grams of natural sugar and 13 grams of protein. How do they do that? They do it by, here we go. This is how they do it. It's strained and has 13 grams of almond protein isolate in there. So really, really good stuff if you're dairy-free or if you want dairy, just avoid the sugar, go Greek style, go organic or grass-fed when you can. I think most everyone on a diabetic diet knows you have to avoid traditional sodas because the sugars can be astronomical. But when this video is done, I want you to watch the video from yesterday when I talked about the worst artificial sweeteners on the market. So if you have diabetes and you're drinking Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke, I want you to stop. Because instead of adding sugar, they're adding aspartame and sucralose or Splenda, and those are devastating artificial sweeteners that are so bad for your health, your brain, your gut. So avoid those and go for something like stevia sweetened soda. These guys are available everywhere. They have all these different flavors here. I would avoid any of the ones that have caramel coloring because caramel coloring is a known carcinogen. Stick with the regular soda here. And it's sweetened with stevia and it has natural flavors. They all have natural flavors. You can't avoid it. I'd rather you have natural flavors than fake sugar that's really devastating for your health. Stevia is not. Now, don't think that you can have something like this because this is Izzy. And it's not sweetened with any sugar. You see 0 grams of added sugar, but it's sweetened with fruit juice concentrate. 20.
So look at that. But that soda had like 30 grams of carbs in it, which is
Oh my goodness.
Are baked in sunflower oil, and they have maltodextrin. Maltodextrin also is high in the glycemic index. It comes from GMO corn, so keep that in mind when you're looking at packages. And it's not a, in my opinion, high quality oil. It's expeller pressed high oleic sunflower oil. It's still a processed plant-based oil. It is better when it's expeller pressed, but processed plant-based oils like this are going to be inflammatory. The maltodextrin is going to be inflammatory, and the tapioca starch makes it high in carbs. So it's not really a diabetic-friendly chip.
But how do
It has high oleic sunflower oil. It's still a processed plant-based oil.
how do they make that seem healthy? What buzzword did you see on that chip package?
There's that Himalayan.
There's that Himalayan salt, right, exactly right. It's like, they put Himalayan salt on the front of the package and then that, well, that's gotta be healthy, right? Because it's got Himalayan salt in it.
Yeah.
Expeller pressed, but processed plant-based oils like this are going to be inflammatory. The maltodextrin is going to be inflammatory, and the tapioca starch makes it high in carbs. So it's not really a diabetic-friendly chip, although you think it might be. And stick with the chicharrones, wash it down with some of that Zevia, you're good to go.
All right, so that's it for us too.
He's good.
He's good, he's got a ton of videos out there. I mean, if you ever just want to deep dive into olive oil, he'll compare like 20 different olive oils. Because you know when you're in the olive oil section, it's like, oh, you know, do I need the really expensive one? Do I not? He's got videos on almost everything. Now, a couple of things that I don't really like too much about him is that he does talk in net carbs, and remember, we don't do net carbs. And then he also really focuses on the added sugars. But we're always looking at that total carbohydrate line because that takes everything into consideration. So again, he's very good, but just kind of keep that in the back of your mind.
What is the website for him?
He's Bobby approved, I think.
Bobby approved.
Yeah, what, Tammy's gonna look it up for us real quick. The other flour that you asked about, it's a root. It's almost like a root that they make the flour out of, and it's supposed to be a lot more healthy.
It's like a tuber that
Yeah.
you ground.
What's his name, Bobby Parrish?
I think it's Flavor City. He has, all his products are like Flavor
Yeah,
City.
Flav City.
Flav City, F-L-A-V City,
One word?
one word.
If you just Google Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, and his last name is P-A-R-R-I-S-H.
Okay.
Yeah, if you, and there's tons of stuff. I mean,
He
you'll have a ton of videos. He does them about on every day.
P-A-R-R-I-S-H.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Parrish. He has Flavor City protein powders and things like that. Obviously, he's hawking a product. He hawked his cookbook, but again, he does labeled deep dives. And when you're standing there looking at different products, He has a protein powder one that he does, because protein powders too, how do you know if you're getting a good quality protein powder? There's so many different ones, so he does a lot of deep dive labels type stuff. But again, you know, any of these guys that are out there, just always have your filter on and make sure that it's a good source too. And if it's too good to be true, it probably is. All right, guys, good to see you. We'll see you on September 11th.